I'm delighted to welcome you all here today to the Curo Big Get Together. And gladly, good thing the rain has at least stopped for us, hasn't it? And it's a pleasure to be with you. This is my first Curo Big Get Together since being appointed as chair of Curo just under a year ago. And for me, this is one of the most important events in the Curo calendar. It's the opportunity for us to invite customers to join us, hopefully to have an enjoyable day, but also for us to hear from you firsthand. What's important to you? What are the things that matter most to you? What things did we do well? What things could we do better? Because all of that will help shape what we do going forward, where we invest our money, where we put our valuable people, in an environment where we can't do everything. So we have to prioritise, and your input helps us in that prioritisation. So the schedule for today is you'll hear a little bit from me, and then I'll hand over to Victor da Cunha, who is our Chief Executive, who will talk you through some of the performance from last year, but also the plans for this year and going forward. And then delighted that Daisy Gaunt is joining us. Daisy is the chair of our Customer Oversight Group, and that group is really important to Curo. It's a group of residents from across our various properties and services who meet to oversee what we do and help shape our plans. So I'm really pleased that Daisy can join us here today. And then we'll go on to Q&A, as Paul mentioned. And the feedback from last year was that you wanted more time for Q&A. So we're going to keep our presentations quite short to give you more time to ask the questions that I'm sure you've got burning to ask. But I thought I'd start, as I say, I've been here just under a year to give you just a really brief reflection on what I've seen, what I feel in the first year. And what a difficult year, what a challenging year it is for everybody. The cost of living is still biting. The increase in food, increase in fuel, increase in heating, interest rate rises. It puts pressure on everybody. It puts pressure on you, and it puts pressure on us, our colleagues, and Curo as an organisation as well. We see ever-increasing need for affordable housing in this area at a pace we just cannot keep up with. And we've seen demand that has outstripped anything we had planned for in terms of the demand for our services, all at a time where the mobility of workforce is far more fluid than it has been in the past. So when we look back as a board and look at the performance of the organisation, there are some areas which really you step back and you say they are excellent, where we've provided homes that are of the highest quality, or we're providing services that we get excellent feedback from and we know make a real difference to people's lives. On the other hand, we look and we know that some of our houses and our properties are not the quality you want them to be, you need them to be, or we want them to be, and the services aren't at the level that we would all want them to be. And so we have, over the last year, as a board, made some really, I think, quite bold decisions and focused or approved money to be spent more on repairs and maintenance and move some of our funding to frontline staff to try and to improve things. We know we're not there yet, but we know where we're trying to get to. And so it's with a sort of a mixed view, I guess, and you'll hear more of that from Vic, so I'm not going to go into that anymore. But what I will say is myself and the board are absolutely committed in supporting the executive team and all of our colleagues in providing you the services that you want and we want to be able to provide. And I'm really pleased to say that a number of my board colleagues are here today. You can see they've all sat together in a row. Hi. So please do take time during the day if you'd like to meet us. We're here with the sole purpose of coming and talking to you and seeing how you feel about our services. Let me just touch back on last year. So I wasn't here at the event last year, but these were the 5 main themes that came up last year. And I'm pleased to say that progress has been made on all of them. Not always the amount that the team would have liked to have made, but some progress. And I think it's important we do reflect on that. Cost of living I've already spoken about, and I suspect that might well come out of here as a theme for this year. And the team have made real efforts to try and support you in the best way they can. So things like, more recently, there's a pantry or a food bank being opened in Midsummer Norton. And the people who work in the customer accounts team in collection with care, in trying to sustain residencies, and money advice and support. The work they've done has put over £1 million back into the pockets of our customers, either through savings or as actual money. And meeting them on the stand today, they tell me they're nearly halfway to doing the same again this year. You told us about issues on estates, things like grass cutting, hedges, cleaning. Based on your input, we've taken a lot of that back in-house now, and we've changed the contractor who provides the remaining services. And we're already beginning to see improvements. Not yet there, but beginning to see that improve. You told us about gutter clearances and you wanted help with that. And we've now made that as part of our investment program, which again should begin to see change going through. And one of the big themes that came out last year was us having too many vacant homes, it taking too long when one family move out or individual moves out of getting someone new in. And the team have really made good strides in that. It's half the number that it was this time last year. So still we want to improve, but the team have improved on that. And future-proofing our homes, making them more efficient or less expensive to run. Obviously, that's easier when we build new properties because technology and materials have moved on so much, so we can build that in. But we are working, and we've got our first grant to be able to retrofit a whole scheme, and we hope to do more of that going forward. That's where we were last year. Let's look forward now. And today is an important day for us because we're launching and announcing our vision for Curo. And the vision is important. It's an aspiration. It's where we want to be in 10 years' time. It's what will shape where we invest our money and our people over the next 10 years, so through to 2034, which I know seems a long way away, of how we want Curo to be, how we want people to feel about Curo at that point. And there's been a huge amount of consultation, and I know many of the people in this room have been consulted, as have all of our colleagues, as have our stakeholders and many of our partners. And the vision is that everyone is proud of the quality of our homes. And that's whether you're a resident, a customer in the home, whether you're a Curo colleague, building a home, repairing a home, maintaining a home, whether you're a local council individual who commissions services in our homes. We want everybody to feel proud of the quality of our homes. And we know we've a way to go, but we wanted to share it with you today so you know where we're trying to get to, and you know how we're investing to move ourselves there. So just to finish, let's recap where we are now. A bit of a reality check. It is still tough. You know, things are still tough. And everybody's having to make tough decisions, whether it's you as individuals, whether it's us as an organisation, whether it's other people you work with and friends and family. It's a tough environment. But moving forward with Curo, we've got some very clear plans in place, and Vic will share the priorities for this year, where we're investing and where we're trying to get to as an organisation. And I think it's important to say the way we can get there quickest is when we work together. So you'll hear from Daisy how the residents are working with us to give us feedback. And we've got some great groups of customers who work together in all different sorts of groups who provide feedback that help us in that way. But there are some areas where we might specifically come and say, we need you to help us to help you. And I'll give you 2 examples of those. One is we want to invest in our homes to make them of the quality we all want them to be. But that means we need to know what the quality is now. So when somebody rings you up and says, we would like to come and do a stock survey or a condition survey, however it might be phrased, please do let our colleagues and our teams in, because that's how we're building up a record of all the properties we have, so we know where we need to invest and we can prioritise accordingly. And the same is, some of you have given feedback that we could tailor our services a little bit better to you, or there's groups of individuals who would like to be treated quite rightly in a different way to others because of your specific needs. Again, we can only do that if we know about you. And it's not us being big brother and saying, now tell us all about yourselves. But if we know if you have a change in your mobility, in your family circumstance, then we can make sure we're responsive to that. I mean, it's difficult for us to do that without that. So those are just two examples where you can help us to help you. So I think that's all I'm going to say for now. I feel privileged to work with Curo. I feel it's an organisation that has a heart. We don't always do it right, but all of the teams have a compassion and a passion to do things right for you, our customers, and for each other. And so it's a great organisation to be involved with. Thank you again for giving up your Saturday to join us. We really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the day, and I hope to meet some of you later on.